Okay, so thank you very much for the invitation, your kind invitation. I'm very honored to be here today to speak with you. Actually, it's also very, I don't know, I see it different. Okay now? I see it as a kind of, no? אוקיי. זה קצת מפריע לי בראייה. מעולה. יופי, כן. It's very nice to come and speak in such a kind of event where the whole focus is on scientific cooperation and has good news to say about, because I'm used to kind of sometimes different environment, the political, diplomatic environment where we have more bumpers on the way. But so thank you for that. I should start maybe by saying, and it's very important to mention, that Israel-EU, Israel-Europe in general, our relations are so much important, are indispensable, and no possibility to imagine this kind of relations in different forms, and it goes without saying, and I'm sure that the speakers before me during the day mentioned the closeness Israel has with Europe because of the historic and cultural and trade background. So there's no need even to repeat this and to mention it again. And that Europe is the main trade partner of Israel. For us diplomats dealing with EU or with Europe in general, it's also a big pride to have the different European programs we have, and Horizon 2020 that was mentioned is of course the biggest, the pride, the flagship of our bilateral relations, I should say. And this is something, as Alex was mentioning, we are also very much proud that we managed to overcome the bumpers I was mentioning, and to finalize and reach the agreement on that. As Alex, I think we compared notes before we were, we didn't compare notes. Moedash, the visit of the Commissioner for Innovation, Moedash, was also a very good example and manifestation of the good bilateral scientific cooperation we are having. I was, as an Israeli diplomat, very proud when in his lecture, opening remark of one of the events, he was explaining the audience what does it mean to be Rosh Gadol in Hebrew, and give this as kind of illustration for scientists around the world to use the Israeli way of thinking, which is big head, translation of Rosh Gadol. And maybe that was a very nice diplomatic also gesture to show the added value of this kind of cooperation between Israeli and European researchers, and young researchers exceed and do very much very good bilateral cooperation in the scientific sphere, and using the Israeli mentality is something that helps sometimes. My main message today, maybe as one coming and speaking about what I'm doing in my daily life as an Israeli diplomat, that the main task of me is to promote Israel-EU bilateral relations, is to keep the fences or the separation between the good bilateral scientific cooperation we are having, and we are having also good bilateral cooperation on many other venues, and to fence it and from other bilateral political disagreements we are having. And I think if we continue this track and keep these two parallel tracks, will be the best way to do so. I'm also, we are also, the Israeli diplomats, very much into looking for new venues, new opportunities for cooperation between Israel and the European Union, Israel and Europe as such. part of the search for such opportunities. For example, we allocated a European program called Creative Europe that is for enhancing cultural cooperation and exchange between European Union and third countries, and we are very much hopeful that we will manage to join that program soon. And we are trying to divert also the discussion in Brussels. Of course, we should agree not to agree on everything, but we also, us as Israeli diplomats, need to portray, to show Israel added value and potential for cooperation with European Union. We are trying also to do it in the European Parliament. Invited the chief scientist of the Ministry of Industry to a special day to give a briefing in the European Parliament. For example, there was a delegation of the group, the committee called ITRE of the European Parliament. It's the committee that deals with industry, research, and energy. We invited them to visit Israel and to learn more about the potential, the possibilities of cooperation we can have together. And as long as we will be able to allocate, to understand better the possibilities and the opportunities standing in front of us, that will be the best way to do so. There is some I should say opportunities coming in the near future. One is what is called by the European Union the partnership priority. This is a kind of I should say a bilateral cooperation program that we need to start discussing it in more in depth, and there we can together try to allocate the potential new venues of cooperation. Maybe it's also a good opportunity to mention an organization that is called the Union for the Mediterranean, that I don't know if many of you are familiar with. It's an organization that is located in Barcelona, 43 member states. Israel is one of them. It promotes cross-border cooperation between countries in the Middle East, Israel, Palestinians, Jordanians, Egyptians, but also European Union countries and Turkey as well, having ministerial meetings in a very periodic way. I mean, it's now part of routine. It's nothing special, unique. In January, we're supposed to have a Ministers of Foreign Affairs meeting, and 2 months ago, we had the Ministers of Regional Cooperation, so it's kind of a very dynamic, active organization where we can look for venues also for regional cooperation of partners inside the EU, outside the EU, and in our region. I think I will stop here, but we'll be very much happy for questions afterwards. Thank you.